Hello, it's Heather, the Crafty Writer. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I saw something like this on Pinterest a while back, and this is kind of my own take on it. It's where you get a popsicle stick, and let's see if I can adjust the lighting a little bit. There you go. And then you can, you glue something to the top and you decoupage some napkin on it, and it kind of makes like a wooden bookmark. So I thought we would do something like this again today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Basically, all you need is like some popsicle sticks. You can use the color ones if you like them. I'm just going to use a plain brown one. Now, I've seen in a lot of like napkin art where people use stick glue to adhere it onto a surface. So I tried that out with this one, and it works okay, but it doesn't seem to get it all the way to the edge. So I didn't particularly like how that looked, and it still has a very papery feel, and you don't see through it as well as you do with this one. And I think the decoupaged one turned out better, so that's how we're going to do it. But you can try it with that, with stick glue, but it's going to take a lot of work. So I wanted to show you one that's actually been done. Okay, so first thing you get is your napkin or printed tissue. This is a printed tissue from Michaels. It's their bead landing brand. I think they're like $1.50 or something like that. They're in that little $1.50 area. And you just take the layers off the back, If you've never seen that done, I'll show you on this one real quick. You can use regular Scotch tape, like gift wrap tape, or if you don't have any of that on hand, you can use washi tape. And I usually just roll it like that. And then you just peel one and then 2 layers. And as you can see, that layer you can kind of see through, while the other layer over here you really can't. There we go. I'll go ahead and finish this, and then we'll get started. So yeah, you can see through it. Okay. Let's just push this one away, and then we'll use the one we've already opened up. Alright, so while it dries, we'll do a couple other little things that we're going to use for the decoration at the top. So I use just the Mod Podge. You can make your own decoupage glue out of regular craft glue, like the white glue, and you add water to it. This one's the satin base. You can use any kind you want. If you're more into the vintage look, I would try the sepia tone stuff. This is Royal Coat. I have this one, and I have another tub of it, and I actually really like it because it really does give that nice antique look. And the longer it sits, the longer it cures, and the darker it gets, which is kind of cool. Like I said, if you really like the vintage old look, that's definitely worth trying. Hey, Jack. Alright, and then gently lay it down, smooth it out. If you don't want to use your finger, get a really soft, dry brush, and you can kind of smooth it out. Sometimes that works a little bit better than using your fingers. Okay. Alright, and when you think you got it down, at this point I just rip it off, because I don't mind the a little bit of a jagged edge. You just got to be really careful with it being, the glue still being wet, that you don't rip into where you just glued. And it's okay if, like here, there's a little excess right there. We'll take care of that after the glue has completely dried. And I'll show you the technique that I use for that I think is pretty good. Okay, and then you just do it like that. Okay, so one side is done. You can leave it one-sided if you like. I like to do both sides. And then you just get some more glue and you paint it on. And make sure you definitely get, there we go, at the edges too. All right. And just brush it away. Just brush away all the wrinkles and try and smooth it out as best you can. There's still probably going to be some wrinkles in there, and that's okay. I think it kind of adds to it. And then again, we just gently rip it. Alright, now as you can see, like there, right there, it kind of came off, but that's okay. Alright, now at this point, usually you let one layer dry before you start adding like a top layer. Because I'm pretty sure I did with this one. Yeah, I added a top layer to it. So usually just do like a really, really thin layer on top. And all this really does is help seal it in. And so that it keeps it more protected. There we go. Because even while it's glued on, it's still going to be a little bit fragile. Okay, I'm going to let that side dry and move it aside to over here. And while that's drying, let's work on this little top part. Okay, so all I did was get any kind of cutout you like, or you can use a sticker. I chose to use Tracy Fox, one of her digis, her butterfly digi, and that's Tracy Fox Love Junk Journals on YouTube, and I do believe it's Love Junk Journals on Etsy. I'm going to distress it a little bit because I don't want to get too into it for fussy cutting. Actually, you know what? I probably could. I actually like how that's... Never mind. I'm changing my mind on the spot. That's okay. So I just add a little bit of ink to kind of get rid of that white background. Alright. And I just use tea dye as the Tim Holtz Distress ink. Okay. Now this, as it is, I just printed it on regular printer paper. So it's not really tough enough to sit onto that. So I just get a scrap piece of white cardstock and I'm just going to glue it onto there, and then we're going to cut it out. Okay. Okay. I'll give that a second to dry. This is still a little tacky, but it's dry enough you can gently flip it over, if I could speak today, and then just do another thin coat on the other side. Okay. And we're going to let that dry. And we'll go ahead and close up my glue because we're done with that. Okay. So, alright, so here we have it on the cardstock, and then we're just going to cut it out. Yeah, I almost did this step off camera, but then I thought, well, it gives it a chance for the decoupage glue to fully dry. So, and you know, it's that way some people might not think of using cardstock as an extra backer if they've just printed it on regular paper. Okay. Alright. And then I just take the excess that's on my sponge and I just go around the edges to get any of that white off. There you go. And then on the back I kind of just run the sponge over as well. Because you will see, you might see a little bit of the back depending on how you choose to decorate it. Alright, at this point I chose a yellow and yellow ribbon to do like some little tails coming out. So I'm going to go ahead and just think I need half of that. Cut it in half, and then I'm gonna cut them in half again. And then we have 4. Okay. Alright, so that's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and snip off a little bit of cheesecloth. This is tea-stained cheesecloth. That's going to be in the background. I put lace back here. You don't have to. Let's see. I think I might use a little bit of this. I think I'm just going to do maybe that much. Alright. Let's see. It's still drying a little bit. I'm going to pause this and then we'll come back when this is fully dry. Okay, so it's pretty much dry. It's still a little tacky in one little section, but that's okay. We can work around that. So the edges are still a little rough, like there's still a little bit of napkin hanging over. You can leave it like that, like, you know, there's that little piece right there that's hanging over. You can leave it like that if you want. But what I do to get some of this stuff off is I take just a regular emery board nail file thing and I just do like that. You can use sandpaper too if you've got that. Just the nail file is easier to hold and easier to control. It doesn't take long to do it. Just about a minute or so, and then it's usually pretty good. All right, I think that's good enough. Let's clean our space off a little bit. So let me move these. I'm gonna get a wet wipe and wipe this down real quick. Okay. Okay. All right, so now it's time to assemble the decoration. My hands are a little sticky. Alright, so if you've got a pattern, you have to decide if you want your pattern to face upwards or backwards. I was lucky enough to remember to face it upwards the way on both sides. You don't have to, that's just personal preference. So we're going to put the butterfly and everything up there, but I was thinking about putting some cheesecloth down. This green ribbon. I think we need the cheesecloth just a little bit bigger. There, and then put the ribbon there. You know what? Let's I'm gonna fold the ribbon in half, and I'm gonna trim end to end. Just to give it a little bit more of a finished look to it. Okay, so I like the way that that looks, and then we'll put the ribbon, the yellow ribbon there, and then the butterfly there. So while this is in place, let's go ahead and get our Fabri-Tac. Okay. Alright, good. Alright, let go. Alright, there we go. Put a little bit on the back of the ribbon. I don't want to put a lot because it can and will bleed through on some fabrics, including ribbon. Even though a lot of it's going to be covered up by the butterfly. And then just to attach like these ribbons, I just put just a little bit of glue about where you want it. And then you just lay your ribbon. Okay. And let's see. Get a little bit of there we go. Alright, and then you take your butterfly or your cutout of any sort, put glue on the back, and then you just put it on. Got a little glue everywhere. Oh, the glue is really messy today. Let's see, I got a little bit of glue right here on the wing. That didn't work very well. Ooh, you know what though? I kind of like the way that looks, so. Okay. all I did was just press the wet wipe to the butterfly, and it kind of distressed it a little bit more. Okay, so here's our original. And that's the back. And then this is the one we made. Pretty quick and easy, very simple. And if you've got a lot of kids and you do a lot of school projects, you probably have popsicle sticks laying around somewhere. And they're pretty inexpensive. You can get them at the dollar store. Okay, well that's pretty much it. Let's see, do I have, you know what, I have a book right here. So we can kind of see what it looks like in a book. Ta-da! And then our new one just made, we can put right there. Ta-da! I think they turned out pretty cute. Yep. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about how we made this, if I wasn't clear on something, please let me know. And I'll be happy to answer those questions. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye.